This is going to be a quick update that I filmed out at Smallwood Dam. You can see there's been a ton of progress on all the dams. It's pretty much full speed ahead. You can see they have the barge here on the back side of the dam. They had normally been working on that spillway on the right hand side. Looks like all this work has pivoted over to working on the spillway on the left hand side. Tanner Gate is still there. At the time of me filming the voiceover, that's probably already been removed now. They were starting to remove and move over that staging area to work on that spillway over there on the left hand side. You can also see there's been a lot of work happening on the low level outlet all the way on the right hand side. So as of right now, the first dam that will be complete is Sanford Dam. That is estimated to have a substantial completion date of December 2025, and then followed by Smallwood here on June of 2026, then Secord in September of 2026, and Edenville will follow up in September of 2027. So that's when construction should go ahead and be complete on all the dams. Of course, it is not until after those dates that the lakes can actually be refilled. You can still see that they do have that concrete structure right here in the middle for those siphon tubes. So those have not been used in a long time. We'll come over here though and we'll check out the lake bed real quick. The vegetation situation out here, all of this vegetation will need to be removed before the lakes are refilled. And in this area you could see that there's varying levels of these trees, most of which are cottonwood it looks like in this area. I'm not really seeing many willow trees, but mostly poplar trees, some softwood. And in this area, they're probably about 10 to 15 feet in height. So we're right in front of the emergency spillway here. You can see that in the background, all those baffle blocks in place with a ton of riprap. So this spillway, you can see, is very wide, should be able to pass a lot of the flows. You should never have to worry about any flooding events on any of these dams in the future. A lot of that D5 riprap here will fly down the emergency spillway. We'll check out the river. So this is the Tittabawassee River. Drone is flying probably only about 20 feet in altitude above the emergency spillway, facing towards the south. And again, this is the Tittabawassee River. Looks like they have some booms in place here to try to prevent some of that erosion and catch any of that sediment that could be in the water column. Keep the water all nice and clear. Nice view downriver. Again, water level is relatively low. We have not had very many big rainfall events, so the water clarity is actually not too bad at this time. When we do have those big rainfall events, do get a lot of turbidity in the water, so it does start looking like that chocolate milk color. Over here on the left hand side, we can see the low level outlet passing all of the flows. So that's able to pass everything at this current time. And over next to the right of that low level outlet, you can see that spillway number 1. Looks like that work has been pretty much completed there. All the stair steps have been poured. And again, that mini excavator all the way on the right hand side looks like it's just creating a staging area to be able to work on a platform. We'll check out that low level outlet really close here though. It's pretty much all of the water that is flowing through the Tittabawassee River is flowing right through this little chute here. So again, not a lot of water at this time. And over here on the right hand side, cutting off some of that steel sheet pile. You can see the guy up there on the lift, most likely using an oxyacetylene torch to cut all the sheet pile to the same level. Crane operators over here, that's always one thing I have to pay very close attention to when I'm out here flying on site. It's probably the highest danger is to not get in the way of the crane. We'll come over here, spin around, and we'll get that aerial view again. Spillway 1, not really seeing any work going on there. Has some sheet pile blocking that off, and a cofferdam. And spillway 2, mini excavators creating that pad so that they're able to get up there and work on that. After this, they can go ahead, attach on a vibratory hammer and start chipping away at the old spillway there. You can see that they have the baffle blocks in place and the sill already poured there in spillway 1 too. So spillway 2 needs all of those features still to be complete. So we'll have a sill poured here and those baffle blocks. quite a bit of little concrete work that is left to be done here. Now we're up at 400 feet in altitude. Again, you can see the entire job site, construction site, the emergency spillway over on the right hand side, and the actual dam portion over here on the left hand side. You can see the old substation over there on the left too. Not a whole lot left of that. Directly 400 feet over the top of Smallwood Dam, and get that bird's eye perspective and see the crane, the barge out in front, and the secondary crane on the back side of the dam as well. We'll start dropping from 400 feet in altitude now, come down and be able to see a little bit more of that work in detail, and we'll also check out the staging area of the job site at the end of this video. I'm going to pop up a table here that shows those estimated dam substantial completion dates though that I already mentioned previously. If anyone wants to support my channel, there are a number of ways to do that. Check out the description down below. You got Patreon, PayPal, as well as coffee. You can go ahead, send me money for a drink or contribute to a tank of gas. But also here on the screen, this was interesting information provided by the Four Lakes Task Force. You can see how long each one of these lakes will take to refill depending on the average flow or if there is low flow. So it is very dependent on how much runoff as well as what the season is. You know, spring of course is going to be the easiest time to refill these lakes. We have a lot of snow melt and at that time these dams could be able to capture a lot of the water but yet still maintain flow downriver to keep the Tittabawassee River flowing, just because of natural resources. You know, you can't completely shut off a river system. There's fish that live in these. There's a lot of natural habitat that you can't just turn off the water spigot and decrease the water downriver. So that's why right now these water systems are in what's called a run of the river. So that means the amount of water coming into these systems is the amount of water going out. So that is the amount of water that is flowing through that low level outlet right there. That is as much water as coming into this river system right now. If anyone is interested in the equipment that I use, that is also all listed in the description down below. And actually those are links to Amazon. They're called the Amazon affiliate links. If you click on any one of those and purchase anything from Amazon within 24 hours, they kick a small portion of the proceeds back to the channel. So another way to go ahead and help contribute to the channel in a non-monetary way. Again, lots of people always ask me, what drone am I using? What am I using to edit these videos? What do I use when I'm capturing stills? So all of that information can be found down below. Also, there's a lot of people that, you know, they want to see what's happening out here at these dams all the time. I do have live cameras on every single one of these dams, and a total of 7 live cameras. So it's quite a few. Most of the dams have multiple live cameras on them. So make sure you're checking out that on my channel. There's a special page that has just listed all of those live cameras. So you can go ahead and you can find that on my main page of my channel and see what is happening out there on these dams 24/7. You can see a lot of close-up work on Sanford Dam. They're actually flying in gates. I think at the time of me filming voiceover right now, they have a total of 3 gates already installed on Sanford Dam. So a lot of progress happening there, but a ton of progress happening on here at Secord and Smallwood Dam, and also Edenville Dam. Huge progress there. A lot of dirt work happening, a lot of that in that earthen embankment. So they've kind of created a nice area on each side of that sheet pile and are now hauling in a lot of that clay and riprap in order to rebuild back that earthen embankment. We're here behind the dam again, though. You can see that barge is pretty much just set up there on that sheet pile next to Bay 1 and staged there in front of Bay 2. This crane over here on this side doesn't look like they were using it much at this time of me filming. Staging area over here, they have those dredging buckets. Looks like a small and a large one. Last time we saw them being used, they were dredging behind the dam right in front of that low level outlet. You can see over here on the right hand side, we'll start entering some of that stainless steel protection. So those they put on the backside of those retaining walls so that when ice flows come or any log jams that potentially might come down this river run into that concrete, it does actually have some stainless steel protection. These still need to be added here at Smallwood Dam. And these components over here on the right hand side are actually for the gates. So it kind of looks like they have some templates made up that will show where the new crest gates will be going. And if you look back really closely at some of the work happening there in Bay 1, you might be able to see some of that prep work that has already been completed for those new crest gates. There is some stainless components and an arch configuration on each side of that bay. Pivot around, get one last look at Smallwood Dam. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and leave any questions and comments you have down below. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below. As always, I just want to give a massive thanks to the people who support me on Patreon. Never underestimate the value of your contribution to keeping this channel going. Thank you.